All right. Okay.
How you guys doing?
All right. Can you hear us, Rob? And can you see us?
Yeah, I'm putting you in my earbuds. Give me just a second here. And then
All right, we'll do a sound check here.
okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Perfect.
And give me just a second here. Somebody's trying to call me.
Okay.
This is so awkward. Business, folks.
Go ahead.
Just a second.
You take care of that.
Hey, Byron. Good. Can I call you in a half hour? I'm just on a Zoom call right now. Cool. Yeah. Perfect. Let's do that. Thanks, Byron. Bye-bye. Hey guys, just a second.
All right.
I don't usually take phone calls, but this is a guy that I want to work with. He wants me to MC an event in Las Vegas next month. And so I've been waiting for his call forever. So anyway, so excited to see you. I'm excited to see our friend in the front row with her Captain America shirt. That reminds me of my niece. She's a big Captain America fan. So you would get along with her very well. So anyway, so what is the premise of this class? And when I say premise, I guess it's a subject. What is it?
Theater.
Yeah. So this
Theater. Oh, cool.
This is our advanced theater class. So these are students that have been actively producing theater. And what we're trying to do is we're meeting with guests that can show them that the skills they learn here in these classes can go on to multiple career fields. And so
perfect.
Give them some insight to what you do and how you got there. And so first, go ahead and introduce yourself. Tell them a little about you and what you do and who you are.
Well, cool. Well, thank you so much, Bradley. This is great. A theater class that you guys get to do this interactive style all the way from Wyoming. So it's such an honor to be with you guys here today. My name is Rob Ferre out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And I got to show you, I created a little bit of a slideshow so you guys can learn more about me and what I do. And I'm so excited for you guys in your future. So if you cannot see it, let me know. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. Okay. So this was me in high school. I graduated in 1997. So this is 20 years ago, East High School. Has anybody ever heard of this school? Okay, nobody. Okay, well, East High School is famous for a lot of things, but one thing in particular, a particular series. All right, who said that? High School Musical. 5 points. Yep. I went to East High School in Salt Lake City, which is famous for High School Musical. And here's the great thing about High School Musical. It was actually based on my life. So, so there you go. I actually went to this high school. Here's the thing is, I was not a jock. I did not play basketball, but I was actually the super fan on the front row of all the basketball and the football games. But here's the great thing is I performed in every show possible at my high school from freshman year on. When I was a freshman at East High School, I was cast in my first show, which was a great show called Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. And so unfortunately, I don't have any photos of my high school shows, but if I can find them, I'll show them to you later. But that was my first show, and I was cast. I actually had a singing part, and I did the musical every year, and then I did our Shakespeare plays. I did our contemporary plays. And our high school is very unique. We did about 4 to 5 shows a year, and I auditioned for every show, and I made it a point to be in every show possible. Then I graduated from East High School in 1997, and then I went to Southern Utah University, home of the T-Birds, and this is where Bradley and I went to school together. Excellent school. Something you should consider. Reason SUU is such a great school. It's a smaller school, and they have an emphasis on theater down there. It is the home of the Utah Shakespearean Festival, which is an amazing opportunity for you to kind of see some real good theater. They won the regional Tony. I don't know if you know this. They won the regional Tony for Shakespeare. I don't know when they won it. I think it was in earlier 2000s, maybe. Anyway, so they won the regional Tony. And then I graduated from SUU in 2003. And now here's the thing, going back to SUU. Let's go back to SUU. I actually wanted to do theater. I was a theater minor for a little while, but it didn't quite translate into what I wanted to do for a career. And we'll talk more about that path here in a minute. And so I went into broadcast communications, which is a lot of fun because it is kind of like theater. You're being on TV, you're on radio, you're using your voice, your performance. But here's the thing is, I did not go into TV either. What happened in TV is I covered a murder, and I did not like the sensationalism. I did not like the having to cover something that was so tragic and lame, and I just did not want to do that. And so I decided, why don't I take my broadcast skills, go to Orlando, Florida. And do you guys know what's in Orlando, Florida?
Universal Studios.
Universal Studios, Walt Disney World. Yes, hurricanes, everything. And so I had my college degree in hand, and I went and did the Walt Disney World college program. And once I got to Orlando, Florida, degree in hand, I got this opportunity to go work for Disney. And so here was the cool thing. There I am in Orlando, Florida, and they give me a piece of paper that says, this is where you'll be working. And so I open it up and it says I'll be working at MGM Studios, which is now known as Hollywood Studios. And then on the second fold, it says what line of work you'll be working. And I was working in attractions and operations. And so I was really excited for that. I'm like, attractions and operations? What attraction am I going to be working at? And then I unfold it, and then I find out that I'll be working at the parking lot. Yes. I have a college degree, and I am working in the parking lot. I'm basically the guy with the two fingers wearing the yellow jumpsuit doing this, like, park your car right here, right here, right here. But here is the cool thing about it. The silver lining was I was the guy on the back of the tram. If you've ever been to a theme park and they put you on a tram, there's usually a person on the back. And as we call it there, spieling. And basically I have the little microphone clicker, and I'm there on the back of the tram going, ladies and gentlemen, you have parked your car in Goofy 55. Goofy 55. Please lower your head and watch your step. If you don't lower your head, please watch your language. This is a family theme park. And so I'd be making those announcements all throughout, and I'd be greeting people, and I'd getting them excited to go on to the park. And then I later parlayed that job. Oh, wait, yes, let's go back to the slideshow presentation. I just want to make sure you guys know I'm still here. There we go. So there it is. I had my college degree in hand, and this is what I got to do. Got to work on this amazing attraction. I don't even think that's considered an attraction. It's an operation. But later on, I parlayed my talent, and I went to the talent show. They had a college program talent show, and I do this silly magic show called the Polish Magic Show. You can watch the whole thing on YouTube. So if you guys want to Google it tonight, it's Rob Ferre Polish Magic Show, and I won the talent show. Did you see that on the left side or the right side, wherever you guys are watching from? And I won that Mouse Girl Award, which I still have today, and I'll show that to you here in a minute. But I won the award, and I met my mentor. And before I met my mentor, I wanted to also show you where I worked at Disney. I worked at the Jungle Cruise. If you've ever been on this ride, it's a great ride. And I got to use my theater skills there too. If you're not familiar with the ride, you basically go round and round telling cheesy dad jokes about the animatronic animals. It's a lot of fun. You know, sometimes one of the jokes is like, these butterflies have an amazing wingspan. They go all the way from 12 inches to a whopping 1 foot in diameter. And so those are some of the jokes. Did anybody get that? Math people. And then I also got to work at the Haunted Mansion, which was a lot of fun. And the cool thing about the Haunted Mansion is if I was having a bad day, I could have a bad day and let it show on my face, because you get to be brooding and you become this character. And so these were some amazing fun jobs that I got to do. And then I met my mentor, Elliot Hansen. And Elliot, who I met at the college program talent show. And then he later saw me at an event where he was DJing. And at that event, I was asking for requests. I was interacting with the other college program attendees. I was teaching them line dances. And he's like, have you ever thought about becoming a DJ? And I said, well, I was a DJ in college. But he said, no, an interactive theme park DJ. And so he kind of taught me the ropes. And there I started working at Walt Disney World, DJing at Downtown Disney, DJing private and special events all over there. And then this right here, I got to DJ at Universal Studios, which is one of my favorite places I got to DJ. And the cool thing is, when I worked at Universal Studios, I got to work in the queue lines. While people waited in line to get on the ride, I entered them and DJed them. It's a weird path how I got to where I am today. I was there for about 3 years in Orlando, Florida, and then I moved back home. I tell people I got my Master's of Family Entertainment, MFE, in Orlando, Florida, which is not really a degree, but 3 years, we'll call it a degree. And then I moved back here to Utah, and I started my business, Life of the Party Entertainment, about 12 years ago, where I am an interactive DJ. I do events from, weddings, private, schools. This weekend I'll be doing a wedding. On Friday I'll be doing an institute dance. Last weekend I had a bunch of guys out there for me. And the cool thing about the other guys that work for me, I represent other DJs around Utah. And so I have found different talent around Utah that really represents my brand. And I've also trained some guys from that. And I'm all for that are outgoing, who are fun. One of the guys I trained, he was a gymnastics teacher, and he knows how to interact with kids and how to instruct them and get them going. But I also look for theater students. I've trained a couple of people who are in the theater community, and theater community is very good for DJing, just because they know how to get on a microphone. They know how to interact with an audience. They have no inhibitions, and they like to dance. They know music. And so there's lots of different DJs out there. You have your DJs that come from a music background. You have DJs that are technically based, or you have DJs who are part-time DJs because they are also a teacher. But there's a lot of different DJs out there. And now I'll look back at him. He's like, yep, that's me. But, and the cool thing about it, it's a great way to parlay your talents into something that you can get paid for. And so another thing that I also do, and to be perfectly honest, I'm not a pure DJ by heart. I'm not like a guy that is scratching and doing clubs and doing big events. I do private. I'm a mobile DJ, but I'm an entertainer at heart. If we go back to all the way to my roots, I'm an entertainer. I took theater school classes when I was a kid, and I did theater all throughout high school. So I'm a theater nerd kid turned DJ. But how did I turn it into a business? And it took a little while. For a while I wanted to be a teacher. And but the problem with that is I learned very quickly that I was an entertainer, not a disciplinarian. When I swore at a couple of kids when I was doing a substitute teaching gig. And I was like, you know what? I'm not cut out for this. But what was important is that along the way, I was able to find my voice and find out who I was. And the next part of my career is being a public speaker, keynote speaker, and MC, a variety of things. And so recently in the last year, I went to Dubai and I MC'd a luxury wedding conference. And I got that through different connections through the National Speakers Association. I speak to youth all the time. I have my own game show. I've always wanted to be a game show host, and I got that bug when I worked at the Nickelodeon Hotel. And but the thing is, I created my own show. So here's the thing: it's all about creating your own path and finding where you want to go. And the thing is, I shouldn't have any regrets. I am proud to be where I am. But I think if there's one big piece of advice I would give anybody is figure out exactly where you're going to go to college what opportunities that college will give you. And then the most important thing you'll ever do in college is figure out your internship. Your internship will propel you into what you are going to be doing. I didn't think big. Nobody really at my college said, you know what, these are the possibilities. And, you know, and I loved my time at SUU, but I wish there was somebody who had said, Rob, you know what, you should take an internship in LA. You should take an internship in New York City. And I think that would have changed the trajectory of my career. And so I did my internship in Salt Lake City at a TV station. And it was a good internship, but it didn't really satiate my need to kind of perform, to create. And a lot of us in this room, as I saying this as we are in this room, like I'm here with you, I think we all have different skill sets, you know, especially when it comes to theater. You know, we have our creatives, our script writers, we have our makeup artists, we have our costumers, we have our behind the scenes, our technicians, our lighting, our staging, our managers. And here's the cool thing is you all have a place in this world. Here's one of the cool things is Elliot, my mentor, he married a girl who worked in the circus, and she is now a stage manager for Disney. And Elliot and her, they manage different Comic-Cons around the country and the world. And so my wife is now stage managing with Elliot's wife at New York Comic-Con in a month. And I'm pretty jealous because they get to go to New York City. But I got to DJ at Chicago Comic-Con. And so here's the thing is taking your love for certain things, you can find a job within that industry. There are so many things that you can do. And I keep looking back at my Captain America girl. You know, it's like, is Marvel where you want to be? What do you want to do? Do you want to work in the comic world? Do you want to work on movies? Do you want to work on a film set? What do you want to do with your life? Because the thing is being on stage is an amazing thing. But creating a career around that can be very difficult. I'm going to be honest with you right now. There are so many theaters that will pay people to perform. My wife right now is performing at the Desert Star Theater, which is a dinner theater, and she's able to make some money, but it's not a lifestyle, right? So here's the thing is, I think you can channel your love for theater and your love for doing those things into something even bigger, but never draw away from your dream. If your dream is to go to Broadway, then go to Broadway. But there are so many different things you can do with your unique set skills and talents. And so I just want to be real with you guys, because I am never going to say to you, don't follow your dreams, but find out what your specific skill set can take you. And the thing is, I had no idea. And the thing is, never get down as to where you are. Let's say 10 years from now, you graduate from college and then you are not doing exactly what you want. But the thing is, if you are still honing your skills and using that to build to where you want to be, you're on your way. It took me a long time to get to where I am, a long time. And I'm still not satisfied with where I am and where I want to be. I want to MC events and speak around the world. That's my new goal now. DJing has been awesome for me, and I've been able to speak in front of different audiences. And I think even speaking is something that you guys could do. Look into it. I think that's another way to be on stage. I just tell people I like to be on a stage. So it's not a traditional stage with a proscenium and rehearsed lines. I do improv on the weekends when I have an opportunity to. I speak in front of audiences. I perform at weddings, and I get to party with people. And so these are different things, you know, and I always thought, you know, I wanted to go into theater. I wanted to do this, but I found different paths. I found different tracks that really resonated with me. And so where I am today, you know, I never thought I would be here, but I just got an email this morning like, hey, we're looking for an MC in Singapore. And that was why I'm a little late, because I'm like, Singapore, I want to go to Singapore. And so I was sending them my videos, my promotional information, but these are really cool opportunities. And so I want you guys to think about the possibilities. What is possible? And I think one of the most important things that I've also done is I never stopped learning. SUU's mantra or logo, not logo, but motto, what would you call it? is learning lives forever. And I have never forgotten that. I keep taking workshops. So I take workshops from fellow DJs, from fellow speakers, and I am constantly learning and honing my craft. You don't know what you don't know. And the thing is if you have the opportunity to take more workshops and learn from other people, I take improv workshops still. I just took my first vocal lesson in years a week ago because I was like, oh, I never sing. But here's the thing is I use my voice. And I actually teach other DJs how to use their voice. And so I was like, well, maybe I should take some vocal lessons. And in March, I'll be going to England and I'll be speaking to a group of DJs out there and I'm doing a workshop. And so here's the thing is you can also teach, you can also give back to the community. And things like this are very important to me, to being able to inspire the next generation. And I think you guys are well primed to do some amazing things. And so I felt like I've been talking for the last 15 minutes, which I have, but I want to learn more about what you guys are looking for. And any holes or if there's anything that Bradley thinks I have skipped over, but I want to go over those things with you or questions.
Let's see, we'll start with them. I'm going to see if I turn on that front light is too much or not. Let's see if that helps a little. All right, you can still see everybody okay?
Oh yeah, of course.
All right, who's got some questions for Rob? I bet there's a lot going on here. We'll start here with Cameron.
What is at least one thing that you wish that you'd done in high school to help further your career in the future?
Did you hear that okay, Rob?
Yeah, high school. Do they offer business classes?
Yeah.
Okay, see, that's the one thing I wish, like, I never thought I would create a business. Here's the thing is, you can take your talents and create a business. And building a business is like, paying money to have a license, building an LLC, marketing, this, and that. The thing is, you guys can create a business with yourselves. That's the thing is, that's how you create your path. Instead of depending on somebody else, like, oh, well, I auditioned and I didn't make it. I know a lot of people in the theater community who are filmmakers or have created their own fairy tale parties or do their own type of entertainment, singing telegrams. You could start a singing telegram business right now in your community. You're like, okay, I know like 5 people who can sing and who can do characters. Like I've always thought about doing a singing telegram business, but it's just too much because I manage other DJs. But you guys could start right now. Take a business class. Start learning those skills so you can start making money because you want to make a career out of this. And that's the other cool thing is like side hustles are a lot of fun. You can keep your passions up with different things that you are doing. So take a business class. So that would be one thing I would tell you to do. Here's the other thing I'm going to tell you about iSchool. How many seniors do we have in the house? Okay, a couple. Okay. How many of you guys are like taking AP classes and are like getting your butts kicked? Here's the thing is, it's a couple of you. I only took 2 AP classes. There's a time and a place to learn everything. And I saw some of my friends who took some AP classes that were kicking their butts and they had no time for extracurricular activities and things like that. I say only take those AP classes if they will help you in what you want to do. And the thing is high school is a very precious time. These are times for you to find out who you are, find your voice, and then catapult you what you're going to do next. If college is not in the books for you, find out where you want to go. Do you want to stay in your community and create something new and something unique there? Or do you want to go to a university and do something different? Whatever that may be. But that was one thing I'm actually happy that I didn't do. I only took 2 AP classes and I didn't bust my hump to kind of like work super hard because I wanted I wanted to be in shows. I wanted to go to sporting events and I was also in student council. And so this is a very fun and unique time for you. And so, and I'm sorry if this is counterintuitive, but it's like less education. No, spread yourself among different things, find different ways and activities to get yourself involved. Okay, we had this girl in the green had a question? Yes.
What part do you enjoy most about being a DJ and an MC that like was something you enjoyed in high school in like a totally different way?
So yeah, here's another thing I forgot to tell you. I was in high school, I was the assembly chair. It's a position. I actually ran for student body president, didn't make it because I didn't have a funny skit. Like, how stupid is that? Like, people get, the student body president becomes the student body president, not because of their policies or their ideas, because they had a funny skit. Like it's the stupidest thing. But I parlayed that into what I did was an assembly chair, and that was a lot of fun. So I was actually able to be in front of all the students, and I love being on a stage, and I love being creative. And so I teamed up with another guy who was my co-assembly chair, and we wrote scripts for assemblies. Do you guys do assemblies at your school? Do you guys do entertaining assemblies, interactive things with like themes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
So we did kind of, okay, you guys could flip that script right now. I don't know who's in charge of assemblies, but we did maybe 5 assemblies a year. And we had like the Christmas assembly. We had the multicultural assembly. We had the senior assembly. We had all these different assemblies. And these were traditions that were going from year to year. But it was my goal to take these assemblies and have a creative thread and theme throughout. If any of you guys remember the old TV show, it was called Saved by the Bell. This was a show that was on when I was in high school. And we did a whole assembly themed to Saved by the Bell. We wrote a script. I acted some of the parts. I assigned other friends some parts. And basically, the reason you do a theme is these people act as your MC or bits in between the certain acts. So we had different acts. We had like a band play, or somebody come out and do a talent, or different things. And so I would curate and get different acts and get people to come and perform on that stage. And that's what our assemblies were. They were kind of like big talent shows with skits and bits and things like that. Think of like Saturday Night Live. That's what we did, is we created these assemblies. And I love to be able to showcase my talents in that way. So I don't know if you guys have those traditions or those things that you're doing, but getting yourself in front of an audience and being able to hone your craft, and people like knew who I was. Like, I still see people like 20 years later and they're like, oh yeah, I love the assemblies. I love that, how you did that magic show, or how you did this thing. And then, people who were freshmen when I was a senior, you're like, you don't know me, but I remember all the assemblies and all the different things that you did. And sometimes you don't realize the impact you will have on another person and people in your community, especially, the people that are younger. And never look at freshmen as people who are like, oh, well, they're just a freshman. Like, they might be taking your job soon. But here's the thing is, mentorship is a real thing. Mentor. Give away that knowledge, help other people, because if you guys have better performances, better people who are behind the scenes, it's just going to be a better thing. Don't be a Sharpay. Be a team leader, be a team leader. I just said that, but work with everybody on that regard. I don't know if that really answered your question, but I had a lot of fun opportunities to be able to not only showcase my talent in a traditional theater, but also in the assemblies, and also by going to the games, by going to the basketball games and the football games, by leading chants and doing bits. We did even halftime entertainment. When I was in high school, a bunch of the senior boys, we all dressed up as Boy Scouts, and we did a fake drill team thing. And so these are fun things that you can do to bring out your creativity within your own community and school. Any other questions? Just 2 questions.
Oh, you must have done good in answering everything then.
Yeah.
Oh, Jared, go ahead.
So you said you had a minor in theater. Is that correct?
Well, here's the thing is, I dropped my theater minor. And I kind of regret that, but there were so many different things that I wanted to do in college. Theater would have taken imprint in my education. They had a lot of lab hours that I could not commit to, and I didn't want to commit to something that I couldn't do. But the theater classes that I did take, I thoroughly enjoyed. I took a directing class, I took a stage makeup class, and I took some other classes, but I was also highly, highly, highly involved with the improv community. And that really connected me to the theater kids. Do you guys have an improv club at your school? No? Oh my gosh, you are failing them.
I guess we're going to start one this week.
Okay. Improv is one of the best things. And the cool thing about improv, it really brings in people who aren't theater kids, but kids who are funny, who are quick on their feet. And it really connects a lot of communities. I remember a good friend of mine, his name, did you know Tilt, Bradley?
Who's that?
Tilt?
I don't think so.
You didn't know Tilt? Anyway, okay. Tilt was like the SU mascot. Everybody knew who he was. He'd walk around campus and everybody knew who he was. But the thing about Tilt is he wasn't involved with theater, but he was like in bands and he was just a funny guy. And I invited him to do improv. And ever since that first day he came to do improv, he has actually gone down and moved to LA, and he's been doing improv in LA for years. But the thing is, he didn't really know the possibilities to channel his humor and personality into improv. And improv will help you in every way life. It can help you in sales, believe it or not. It can help you in meetings. It can help you as an MC. It can help you do so many things. People are like, wow, you're so quick-witted. You know how to engage an audience. You can know how to do that thing. That's why I think improv is very important. And so in college, I eventually dropped my theater minor just because I didn't have enough time for it. But I still kept my foot in that theater community. I still had a lot of friends. And here's the weird thing. A lot of my friends that I'm really close to from college are my theater friends. Not my roommates, but my theater friends. And we have a very special bond. You know, it's funny because my theater friends, I don't know, there's just that different level of love, you know. And all my other, you know, friends, they went on to go career dentists and doctors. And they have their own lives, which is fine. But my theater friends are very, you know, are people that I still hold on to. You know, one of my good friends, Adrienne Swenson, who I met through the theater community. She's been on a Broadway tour and she does theater all the time and she's amazing. And so she finally just I would say about 4 or 5 years ago, she quit her day job and moved to New York City. And she's doing some amazing things. Another cool thing that I did in college, and I don't know if you guys have a TV station at your school, but I did a TV show in college at SUU. I also did TV in high school. TV was so cool. I don't know. Do you guys have TV there? Yes? No?
Working on a journalism class to add video production.
Okay. So, you know, you got journalism and video production. We had a TV class and I loved that. And that was another way to showcase bits, be creative, create new videos and things like that. That was one of my favorite things. And in college, I did a TV talk show called SUU Live, where I was the host. And it was kind of like a late night show kind of format, like a Letterman or Colbert or something like that. And we did bits and we'd bring on different students and we interview them. And it was a lot of fun. And so I was able to channel my passion for performing in TV there too. So the guy with the glasses just raised his hand. He said, "Hey, you're a theater minor. You didn't ask a question, so I do apologize."
Yeah, the question was, would it be better to take like a major in something else and minor in theater, or try to double major and have theater be one of your majors?
Here's the thing is, because TV for me, there was a lot of extracurricular. Does that make sense? Theater, there's lots of extracurricular. You got to do a lot of lab hours. You got to perform and things like that. So either double minor or, sorry, not double major or minor, because theater requires so much of your time. So you need to find something that complements it. I would something, you know, wherever your skill sets are, you know, maybe do a double major. I don't know. I cannot give you good perspective on that, but I would still suggest either keep it as a minor or double major for sure. And I know a lot of people go into education too, and I think that's very important. And so having both of those skill sets so that you can either teach or share your knowledge or take it as a business some way, I suggest you guys keep going along that path. Any other questions?
I have one.
Yes.
Now I'm thinking back to Tilt. Was he the guy that always wore like the Newsies paperboy hat?
Yes, that's Tilt.
Okay, I do know.
Yeah. Yeah. Big round guy. That's Tilt. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay.
And that was his nickname. Yeah.
That's cool. Let's see. How about, we got a few more minutes.
Yeah.
Other questions before I? Forbes over here. You might not be able to see Forbes. He's in the corner. So you met Skinner,
okay,
right?
Yes.
You can move to where you can see you.
Yeah. So
let him see you. Come on. Come over.
Just lean in.
Come on, my daughter. Come on.
All right. Go ahead, Forbes. So you met Skinner in college, right?
Yes.
Was he a child back in college?
He's still a child, dude.
Has he changed at all?
He's surprised me as where he's gone. He's very dapper. And I am all about people who are dapper, people that know how to dress well. As far as being a child, weren't you a senator?
No, I just always hung out with all of them.
For some reason, I thought you were a senator. Anyway, but you know, I've always known him as somebody who is very, you know, professional, you know, somebody that was fun, but also professional in their demeanor. And so he wasn't I never really got to see that childlike, like craziness, I guess, if you guys seen it, but he's always been professional and he's always kind of been that person that, you know, people like to be around. And plus I've also been very impressed with how he has evolved because, you know, some people grow up and they get kids and they get into their career and then they just let themselves go. This guy hasn't let himself go. I mean, look at this guy. Come on, look at him. So, but yeah, I've always been impressed with what he's done with his second stage of life. So yeah.
Well, I've got one of our students here. Say hi, Cooper.
Hey, what's up, man? Come in the light.
Hello.
Cooper's one of the DJs that handles school dances and stuff for my company. And
oh, cool.
There he is.
What up?
So I'm sure that a lot of what Cooper's heard today, you can see that a lot of what we do with our company comes from Rob's influences and how he does things and why he does things that way because they're effective and they work. Cool. Tell us about what you got here.
Oh, well, this is my wall of fun stuff. You know, this is the Mousker that I got when I won that thing, Haunted Mansion. You know, and then this is from when I, you know, spoke at a conference, you know, and so I still have little trophies. I don't have my trophies from when I was in theater. They gave us a couple of different trophies when I was like a senior and things like that. I should have my SUU one up here. I don't know where it is. I have a variety of different things from my stages of life, but I think it's always fun to celebrate what you have done. These are my ears from when I was in the college program right now. Those are my ears. This is my Jungle Cruise boat. And so it's always been fun just to kind of go through a life and celebrate. Oh, this is my high school mug right here from when I was at East High School. But yeah, just a couple of different things. But I think it's always important to know where you came from and reflect on how you got there. But I think some of the important things that you can do right now is find a mentor. Like, how do I get a mentor? You just ask, find somebody that you look up to. And there's some people that you can look at and just kind of learn from afar, follow them on Facebook, on Instagram, and learn from their inspiration. I'm constantly looking at other people on Instagram. The biggest problem with Instagram right now is doing the comparison game. Us adults, we do it too. We look at somebody and we're like, hey, why are they doing this amazing thing and I'm not? Why? That sucks. I should be doing that. And the thing is, it's like, you are yourself. You can create your own path. You have the ability to do anything. And so theater can be very competitive. My wife is going through this right now. It's like she's auditioning for things and not getting the roles that you want. And it can be very, very disheartening. And I get that. And so with this DJ gig, like, I'm constantly auditioning for jobs. I'm constantly trying to sell myself. I'm looking for the next gig. So that can be very hard. But if you can do something that you love, that, as you say, it doesn't suck the soul out of you, then go for it. One of the guys that works for me, he is he does theater too, but he has what he calls a soul-sucking job. But that will be a means to an end so that he can eventually do what he wants to do. And the thing is, I think having a traditional job is very important too. Being able to have work ethic, how the other half lives, how people work inside a traditional office. I think that's important for you to get a grasp of how other people are doing things. But I will never discourage you from pursuing your dreams, whatever that may be, being on the stage, being on camera, being behind the scenes, creating something, writing a script. There are so many skill sets that you guys have right now. And I encourage you right now to start figuring out, what is it that makes you unique, what is your superpower, right? What is your superpower? What is that thing that you can do? And, one thing that I found out in high school is that I love being on the stage, but I loved interacting with my fellow students. And so that was one of my superpowers, just being a friend to all. I balanced theater kids and choir and sports. And when I say sports, I never played, but I went to all the games. And so that was the thing is I wanted to be involved with everything that I could be involved with. And so I think this is a great opportunity to find out who you are. And the thing is, things might be rough right now, things might be tough, but the thing is, look forward to what the possibilities are. And I'm excited for what you guys can be doing here in the future. So I applaud you, and I hopefully will be crossing paths in the future, wherever that may be.
Awesome. Thank you, Rob. Everybody on your feet. Everybody say goodbye to Rob. Thank you so much for coming out yesterday. Appreciate all your words. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks so much, guys.